Art of God tapping in with y'all. So look, I wanted to drop by and talk to y'all about the codes of the Matrix. Now, the codes of the Matrix, I'm gonna be making more videos about this, but I'm just gonna be dropping in and talking about instances that I can kind of reference you. Now, it's going to be hard for you to understand this if you're not really tapped in with your spiritual side. But even if you aren't tapped in with your spiritual side, you're going to kind of understand what I'm saying. But for those people that are very, very tapped in and y'all are awakened spiritually and enlightened spiritually, you'll get what I'm saying. And by me explaining this, you'll start to deduce other codes of the Matrix. Now, I'm going to just break down what I mean when I say the Matrix. When I'm talking about the Matrix, I'm talking about everything around you, outside of you. Everything comes from within your soul. So everything outside of you is a representation of yourself. Your house is a representation of yourself. The covers that you sleep in your bed is a representation of yourself, because you manifested that from your spirit, from your brain, or from your spirit to your brain, and then it became into your physical reality. So that was something that you wanted. Your child is a representation of you. That was something that you manifested. Everything in your life, your job, everything around you is a manifestation from your brain. So that's why they say the thought is so powerful and the mind is so powerful, because literally everything around you is a representation of yourself, your relationships and all that. So when I talk about the Matrix, I'm talking about the illusion of the fact that everything around you is separated from yourself. Everything in these walls, everything in your body is created from the same molecules or the same elements and atoms. They're just rearranged in a different structure and they look different. You got water in your hair, but it doesn't look like the same water that's in a puddle because it's rearranged differently. So, you know, the Matrix is the illusion that everything is separate from yourself. If you watch the Matrix, and the part where the little boy bends the spoon with his brain, Neo asked him how he did it. He said that it wasn't really how he did it. It was just realizing that he is not separate from the spoon, because once you remove that mental block from your brain, you can tap in with that spoon, because it's just atoms, just like your body and stuff like that. So, there's a lot of instances. So, you know, that's what I mean when I say the Matrix. When I'm talking about the Matrix, I'm talking about the illusion that everything is separate from yourself. So, for example, one of the things that, one of the codes of the Matrix that I've deciphered is the fact that life has a foreshadowing process. So just like in a movie, you know, you will see, for example, and if you don't know what foreshadowing is showing little hints of things that are going to happen in future events. So like you might see in the movie, they driving and it's a scene where the tire looks like it's going to fuck up eventually. That's foreshadowing that y'all going to be in an event where the car might be fucked up in certain situations like that. Now, there's foreshadowing in real life, but they happen in very small instances. Now, I'm going to give you two examples out of my life that they've happened in, and I've seen it a multiple number of times to know that it's a code in the Matrix, because everything is patternized in this world. So for example, I'll be at work, right? I go to work and then I look in my book bag and I just randomly find this knife. I just randomly find this knife. It's a kitchen knife. I'm like, what the hell is this kitchen knife doing in my book bag? So I close my book bag, you know, I don't think nothing of it. That day, my partner actually forgot his box cutter blade, and we really needed a knife, like to get through all the shit that we needed to get through. You know what I'm saying? It would have been hard to work. Coco, Yodi, go lay down. It would have been hard for us to work without having a knife. So it's like, what's the chances that I just had this random ass knife in my book bag, but something was just like, it was just weird when I seen it, it just stuck out to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's a foreshadowing process. See, God is in everything around and in these physical, non-physical, it's everywhere. So there's the you, and then there's the external God that exists within everything that may not necessarily be conscious in the way that we determine it to be, but it's conscious in a way that it can respond to your reality if you know. For example, there was another job that I worked at, and it was like I had to move at a certain speed. You know what I'm saying? I had to move at a certain speed, and it would be a certain point where I needed a pallet. You know what I'm saying? I needed a pallet to put on top of another pallet, but it would be a good chance that I had to run all the way back. Like, it was, the bad thing was I would have to go all the way back and get a pallet. But ironically, it was always a pallet in my area that I needed it at. You know what I'm saying? And it was like I was always pushing out that energy. But that wasn't necessarily an example, but that was just an example of how you spiritually can interact with your environment when you need certain things that you need. Like, everything that you need is right in front of you. You may just not realize it at the time. You know what I'm saying? In any situation, God always places things in your environment that you need at a certain time. But another example of that was when, like, for example, I may have had to go to work, and I had some gloves on me. You know what I'm saying? I left the gloves. I had some gloves on me, but it was some gloves on the table, and something just told me to grab the extra pair of gloves. But my mind told me, no, don't grab the extra pair of gloves. You know what I'm saying? You already got some in your pocket. What's the point of that? Right? That's logical. So, you get to work, yada, yada, chop it up. Now your partner just happened to forget their gloves today, but something told you ahead of time, yo, I should probably take these gloves to work. Now, that is what I'm talking about. And I know when I said that a lot of y'all was like, damn, that shit has happened to me before. And now that I think about it, it's happened to me a lot more than I actually realized. So that's something that was telling you that is your spirit that's interacting with your environment around you. Or you may feel like, I feel like something's not right. Like, you may be standing in a room, you may feel like something not right, but your conscious self isn't aware enough to realize what it is. It's a minute change. Maybe the walls have been painted, you know what I'm saying? And you may not have noticed it consciously, but something in your back of your mind was telling you something's different about this room, or something may have been rearranged. You know what I'm saying? So when you get those type of feelings, you have to go with your gut. Logic, your conscious mind uses logic to determine whether your decision is rational or not. Your spirit uses feelings to determine if something is spiritual or not. And this is why, and I'm kind of getting off subject, but this is why your diet is so important, because your diet affects your stomach, and your stomach is where your gut feeling is at. So if the food that you're eating is fucking up your stomach, then it's going to fuck up your gut feeling. You see what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. That's a code of the Matrix. I'm gonna be dropping more when they come to me. Sometimes I forget, but I've been writing a lot of them down lately. So I'm gonna drop these to y'all and just kind of ponder on what I'm talking about and just take it in. And when you start to notice it, you'll start to look at reality a lot different, and how shit actually works, and that everything is actually in tune and everything is actually in sync. Now, people that are just starting a spiritual journey, it's going to be like it's going to be an eye opener for you. For people that already knew this, it's just going to be like interpreted for you to where you could confirm it and hold on to it and, stand on it. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk to y'all about. Peace.